Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Shareece. I help Black men and women heal from trauma and toxic relationships. Today, we're going to be talking about how to find the right Black woman therapist for you. I'm going to talk about different directories, how to reach out to a therapist, and then the importance of being a good fit. The most popular directory is Psychology Today. I think almost every therapist has a listing on Psychology Today. It's one of the easiest to search through based on your geographics. Their website is very user-friendly, and I think it's easy to get a gist of who the therapist is before you reach out. Another really popular one for Black girls and Black women is Therapy for Black Girls. I think it's not as user-friendly as Psychology Today, but there are tons of Black women on there and allies to the community who are specifically trained to help other Black women. I think it will take some patience and some sifting through to find ones who are a good match for you, because you can't really search well for what you're looking for on there. But I highly recommend Therapy for Black Girls because it's where I get most of my referrals from. A couple of honorable mentions are Therapy Den and Thriving Campus. I like the CEO of Therapy Den because when I was doing my research on BetterHelp, but he just gave me new perspective on how much you're worth and how much you view your intellectual property. Is it priceless, or is there a price tag, high, low on it? So I like Therapy Den. I haven't got any referrals from Therapy Den, but I think you can find some people on there. The only thing I'm not sure about is if the people who are on there are current, right? Are the listings updated? So with Therapy for Black Girls, once you pick the state that you're living in to make sure that the therapist you would like is licensed there, you will get the most recent listings. The further back you go, the longer they have been on Therapy for Black Girls. And so the more likely that they might not respond because it's been a while since they've updated their listing. Therapy Den, I'm not sure if they let you know if the person is current or not, because as we'll get to in the next section on what is it like reaching out to therapists, it's difficult when you're not getting any responses from people and you're really ready to start therapy. But the other one, Thriving Campus, which is specific to if you're on a university campus and you're looking for clinicians, because often the counseling center is inundated with people and there's a wait list. So Thriving Campus will put you in network with therapists within your community. So I will see people around Atlanta, Georgia, Spelman, Morehouse, such like that, that are in network with Thriving Campus. They send the updates so that anyone who's looking at my profile, if they're seeing it, it's because they've pushed my profile to them, because I let them know I'm actively accepting new clients. Once you pick a directory, your next step is to find people and then reach out to those people. There's a couple ways that I recommend to pick a therapist. One, the specific symptoms that you're going through, or the theoretical orientation. If you fancy, you could do, both and make sure the person is aligned in all the ways, but I would save that for the consultation call. If you are experiencing anxiety, if you are experiencing depression, if you are experiencing trauma, it would be very important for you to pick a therapist who has experience in those areas. When you think about humans, right, across the lifespan, I call myself a lifespan psychologist nowadays because I've seen as young as 2 and as old as 91. But most therapists specialize in just one area, right? And so my specialization is trauma. I also have what I consider to be subspecialties, right? So trauma and children are my major specialties, but I also know a lot about sex education, polyamory, what it's like being an immigrant. I'm a pseudo-immigrant. So anything that has a lot of cultural implications or, Caribbean history, I'm very good at those things. There will be other therapists that, primarily deal with anxiety or career transitions or depression or significant, severe mental health problems like schizophrenia. I don't see anyone with schizophrenia in my practice because it requires a high level of care, a team of practitioners, but some people have access to all of those resources, and so they're fully able to see someone who is going through, that severity of difficulty. Find a therapist that has experience in the area that you're specifically looking for. The next thing would be theoretical orientation, and you may not know any theoretical orientation. Most therapists right now are using CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy. I myself primarily use trauma-focused, TFCBT is what we call it. But I also, on my listing, I name, I think, person-centered, and definitely psychodynamic. A lot of my experience comes from understanding my clients in the unit that they're in. And so even though it would be helpful for you to have some awareness on what these things are, you really don't need to, because in the last step, right, the goodness of fit, you having a really secure, trusting therapeutic alliance with your therapist outweighs any modality that they're going to use. But depending on where you are, you might have a preference. So if you don't know anything about theoretical orientation, I would not go looking for it right now. I would stick to what symptoms do you have, who has experience working with someone with the symptoms you have. And once you find people, if they offer consultation calls, please book one. I do want to apologize in advance for any delays that you may have finding a therapist. There has been a shortage of Black women therapists. We can only see so many people. A full caseload is around 20 people. If you real fancy, you'll see 30, 35. If you overworking yourself, you can see 35 people in a week. That's still only 35 people, right? So a lot of people get booked pretty quickly, and they don't have the space to see more people. If it's a group practice, then they'll hire more clinicians, but still, that next person they hire can only see about 30 people. So I'm saying, be patient in this process. I would recommend about 10 people. If this was 4 years ago, I would have said 3. You just need to reach out to 3 people. But now, definitely, if you live in a metropolitan area, like where I am in Atlanta, Georgia, I've heard like horror stories for people who've been looking for a good therapist for a year or 2, and they've had not luck, right? Difficulties with the insurance, difficulty with the fit, therapists standing them up and not attending the session. So brace yourself if this is not a seamless process, right? So reach out to 10 therapists, depending on how they book it. On my website, you can send in a contact form, your name, your phone number, you'll have your email address on there, and then you can write a message. Hi, I would like to schedule a consultation call. Hi, I would like to have some help with therapy. Hi, I'm thinking about starting therapy. Hi, I'm having some difficulty with depression. Hi, I'm having some family problems. Like whatever it is that you're experiencing, I would put a little blurb. Don't use this as a time to tell all your deepest, darkest secrets, right? But just a little blurb about what it is that you're looking for from therapy. If people don't respond to you, don't take it personal. Please don't take it personal. Just move on, right? You can follow up, but I wouldn't. They saw it. If they didn't see it, they didn't see it. But if they haven't responded, that's either because they've overlooked it because they're too busy, or because they can't, or because it doesn't make sense. Like, we don't need to know the reason why. I just want you to move on. So you have your list of people, you reach out to them. If they offer a consultation call, please take it. Have a question like, what's your approach to therapy? Or, what's your favorite part about, working with clients? Something like that. And any other questions you might have on, what it is that you're going through. During this time, you'll be verifying your insurance that you are in, if you're using insurance, verifying it's in network. At some point, you'll find out if they have a cancellation fee. Most therapists do have a cancellation fee, anywhere from $25, $50 to the full rate of the session. People like me don't have a cancellation fee. Not a cancellation fee, a no-show fee, right? Most people don't charge for cancellations. They call them late cancellations, or it's a no-show. I maybe because of my politics, I don't really believe in cancellation fees. With my previous therapist, I never was charged. But I was also serious about therapy. And so those are the folks that I'm working with. But depending on where you are and the kind of therapists you are picking, they may have, it doesn't really say anything about their competency if they have a no-show fee or anything like that. I think it's just part of how they want to do business. And I think it's a valid way to do business. I don't see people that no-show me or late cancel on me. If they do, and it's a habit, I'm a fire you. I'm gonna fire you, because my clients are ready to do the work. But depending on where you are in the process, right? You may be more so at the beginning stage where you just need to talk and you need someone to listen and reflect back to you, give you some new insights, or you may be ready for someone like me who will change your life in a year. I promise you. If you stick with me and you do the things that I recommend, you do your homework, you practice doing things differently, your life will be different in a year. I promise you. I don't have space I don't have space for new clients. And I don't see clients for therapy if you found me here. There's just so much of my personal life here that for me, it's not appropriate for if you find me here. I do life coaching, which is different than therapy. If you are a better fit for therapy, then I would recommend you to someone else. But I do offer life coaching, right? Mostly your life is put together. There's no crises, but you're wanting to work on certain areas. I am available. So back to the consultation call, because we're assessing goodness of fit. So either you have the consultation call or you have your intake session. You want to make sure, you feel like this would be a good relationship moving forward. This is somebody I think I can trust. The vibe is good. I'm getting the right feelings. I think she cares, is empathetic. I think this is a person I can share some of my secrets with. I feel ready to do some work with this person. If you don't feel like trust is being built, or that this person is invested or considerate or interested in your growth, I would say don't continue. Don't continue. I fully believe in firing therapists. So if in the first time you speak with them, first time you meet with them, you're like, I don't like her, or I don't think this is going to work, don't go back. Don't go back. Don't go back. I want you to trust your intuition, trust your gut. The therapist who's right for you, you're going to feel like hopefulness at the end of a consultation call with them, or after the first session. You're going to think that was not easy. Like, it's not easy to do therapy. Therapy can be quite an emotionally painful and draining process. But even though the work may be hard, you still feel hopeful that things can get better. And this is a person that can help you get there. If you're not having those thoughts, right? And I would say it's probably because of the fit, not because they're a bad therapist, but just because of the fit may not be the best. Or you may be in a lot of fear. If you're looking for a therapist and actively looking at making a list of 10, I don't think you're actively in fear. I think you're ready. I really think you are ready to do some of the hard work. So if it's not a good fit, don't go back. Don't go back. Find someone else. Move again down on the list for someone else and give it some time. I think on average now, if you live in like a metro area, maybe 3 months to find a therapist who's a good fit for you. The horror stories, right? A year, 2 years, less than that. If you're a good fit for me, if you find me, oh my gosh, if you find me, I'll have you booked by the next week, right? Yeah, but now I probably have like 2 slots. So it's like getting where you fit in. One of my goals and the things I brag about is being fired by my clients. After a certain amount of time working together, I would hope that you've reached your goals, right? That you feel really competent and confident and comfortable where your life is. And so even though life may be lifing, you feel like you can handle your life stressors. That is really my hope for everyone, that you can live a life of joy and ease and peace. Even though life is lifing, your response to it, your use of coping skills, your support system, all there for you so that you can achieve everything that you want. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions about this process of finding a therapist. Really be patient. Give yourself some time to find the person. This is your life. And you really want to find someone who's actually able to help you reach your highest heights. Thank you so much for watching. Share this video with someone you think it may help. I'm doing a therapy series, so you might want to subscribe if you're interested in more videos like this.